Hey, it's Chad with Drawn and Cornered. It is October 6th, 2021, and here's your news for the day. So, yesterday we had the Facebook whistleblower in front of Congress talking about everything she knew about how the algorithms work, the decisions that were made to continue risky practices within the company towards Instagram and Facebook, and how both are structured essentially to create division, to create hostility, to create problems, sort of against what their initial mission was, which was unification and bringing people together and communication and all that, which I think we always knew was suspect, at least, if not just an outright lie. But we were okay with that because we feel like we're in control. She's saying essentially the algorithms mean we are not in control. Like you are a party to this once you get in. It's like an addict saying like we've got it, I'm fine. No, you're not. You're being controlled. You're being manipulated. You're being hosed by Facebook. Is essentially her point. Now this is where this is going to get really dangerous for us. Is that may all be true. The algorithms may be built around hostilities and dangerous aspects, but what this is going to be used for is clamping down on Facebook broadly. It's going to be more regulation. It's going to be government intrusion into Facebook, into the town square, in ways that we have never seen before, because it's going to be for our own protection. And the problem with this is this coming from the right and the left. And broadly, the right should be fighting for less intrusion here. Broadly, the right should be saying, hey, we don't want to regulate. In fact, what we want to do is take away a lot of the protections that government provided to Facebook and Instagram and all these others for the choices that they're making, because again, they are no longer a platform. They have become a publisher. The sooner that we recognize that and treat them as such, the sooner this all sort of levels out and becomes sustainable and acceptable to the masses. The left, who has much more momentum behind this right now, especially given yesterday's testimony and the push broadly after January 6th to eliminate harsher voices on these platforms. The left, which has all the momentum, is going to push for more regulation. And that is going to be regulation specifically, they won't say it like this, it's going to be specifically against free speech. They are going to regulate Facebook into taking down and eliminating sources they consider dangerous. And whether they allow Facebook specifically to make that determination is going to be kind of questionable, because when you have the whip hand, as government does, and they tell you, hey, we want to get rid of all these dangerous voices, Facebook's not going to stand up against that. They recognize that their existence is at stake. They're going to do what they're told. So this is government's way to kind of end around the First Amendment issues, because it's a private company that's doing this, but something like 83% of people get their news from this private company, and now government has control over what does and doesn't make it into that to some degree. So that is going to be the problem that we have, is that the sources that are available to you now are going to start being eliminated. And whether you agree with those sources or not, whether you think those sources are right, whether you even think that they are truthful, is secondary to the fact that they're going to be eliminated from potentially existing at all. And at least in your daily life, or at least in a platform which, again, most people get their news from, it's going to disappear. And when that happens, you're going to see information and truth centralized under just a couple of different headings. And that's all going to be legacy, mainstream media, the type of media that we all know and love, like the New York Times, the Washington Post, CNN, credible sources that are running mainstream against a lot of the oppositional sources that are out there right now. That's going to be the only way you get your news. And if you think consolidation of information or consolidation of a news source or news sources is good, I don't know how to have an argument against you on that, because more information should always be our goal. More information and disparate information from different places and different sources. We should be able to have enough savvy to recognize what is and isn't right, what is and isn't good. And if you think that you're good with that, but it's the other guy you need to watch out for, you have just become part of the problem. The other guy is just as capable as you are. Yes, we have folks that are low information. We've always had that. It's always existed out there. But the notion that somehow you deserve the credit to be able to decide your own point of view and what sources are good and bad, but the other guy doesn't, makes you an authoritarian. And we're seeing more and more of this, and you're going to see pushes for this much, much heavier, even amongst the populace. Like, I get why the politicians are doing this because they want to consolidate power, but you wanting to do that is dangerous. You're cutting off your own lifeline to information, and it's never been a good thing. That's never been a positive, and you're going to hear people clamoring for it. So keep your eyes open. Watch for these steps that are going to be made. It's going to happen quickly, and especially as we start nearing the end of Joe Biden's first year, you're going to see calls for this because of all of the bad information that's out there. All of the things that have gone wrong for the Biden administration is all going to be blamed on these outfits, these fringe news organizations that are pushing stories beyond their scope, beyond their relevance, just to try and make him look bad. There's going to be plays for how this enters into the political system and what this does for our discussions and our dialogue. And that's why it's going to have to be such a pressing issue going into 22. Watch for it. It's going to happen. This is Chad with Drawn and Cornered. Thank you very much for watching. We do videos like this every day. If you like what you're seeing here, definitely subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications anytime we upload a new video, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, on the weekends if there is anything worth noting. Thank you again very much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.